So you want to buy a home, but you have no idea where to start. My name is Rena. I'm a licensed loan originator, and let me walk you through kind of the beginning of the process to get a home, so you can go in with your eyes open and have a little better idea of what the process looks like. So the very first thing you're going to need to do when you want to buy a home is to get pre-approved. You can get pre-approved or pre-qualified. A pre-approval means we've looked at your income, we've looked at your assets, and we've looked at your credit. We have a good idea of what any red flags may be. We have a great idea of what you can qualify for, and we send you out with a letter that says, we've looked at all these documents, very strong buyer, let's get them a house. Or you can be pre-qualified, which means you've called somebody on the phone, you've told them what you think your income is, what you think your credit is, and where you think your assets are. They've said, okay, and they've sent you a pre-qualification letter. That can be a little weaker when you're putting in an offer. It can also lead to some questions down the line, more documentation and frustration. For me, I never send a pre-qual. I only do pre-approvals. So if you talk to me and I'm asking you lots of questions and asking for documentations, that's kind of the why behind that. So the very first thing you're going to do is call that loan officer. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to ask you about your goals. What are you looking to do? What kind of house are you looking for? Are you looking for in this price range or this price range? What kind of income do you have? Are you self-employed? Are you W-2? Will you be qualifying for the home with someone else, a spouse, a friend, mother, father, anything like that? What's the assets that you have, and what are you comfortable for cash to close? We want to make sure that we're getting you into a situation you're comfortable with. Nobody's goal throughout this process should be to put you in something that's more expensive than what you're looking for. For me, I'm going to ask you what your assets are, because that can matter beyond cash to close, and then what your cash to close goals are, because those are probably different things. And then I'm also going to ask you where you're comfortable with your monthly payment being. And then we can take a look at, okay, does this all align? Can we get the house that you want within those parameters? So the next thing I'm going to do is either on the phone or via a link to a portal, I'm going to send you a loan application. So we can do this on the phone, where I'll ask you all the questions verbally and go through everything, or in person. Or I can send you a link to a loan application that's going to have you fill out everything. It's going to have any co-borrowers fill out everything. And then when I send that, it's also going to have you upload your pay stubs, your W-2s, or your self-employment documentation, your asset information, and a couple other things, just so we can get you started on the process with a really strong pre-approval. Once we have that strong pre-approval, I'm going to say, here's what you're pre-approved for. It's the exciting part. This is what you can get in a loan to go out and buy your home. This is the point when you're going to call a realtor, find a realtor you trust, or ask me, I can help refer you to one. And once you've gone out and found a home, you've said, this is the one I want to buy, you're going to put in an offer, but my job's not done yet. I'm going to call that listing agent. I'm going to walk through and say, I've looked at their income. I've looked at their assets. I've looked at their credit. They have a really strong buyer here. Please accept their offer. We're going to get this closed quickly, and we're going to get them into the home. This is something listing agents love to hear, because it means that you have a strong pre-approval. For the listing agent and for the seller, they're not going to want to accept an offer that's going to come with anything other than certainty. Obviously, things can happen throughout the process, but they're going to want that certainty, and maybe even take a little lower offer if they're sure it's going to close, versus a higher offer that's kind of wishy-washy, as it saves them time throughout the process and a lot of headache. So once you get your offer accepted, we will ask for a little more documentation, maybe some updated documentation, depending on how far you've been looking, and then we'll send everything over to the underwriter. We'll do the underwriting process, get you clear to close, and get you keys to the home. Obviously, there's a little more in depth there, but it shouldn't be too much of a headache, because we should have taken care of most everything at that pre-approval stage up front, which I know can seem like a lot, like, oh, I'm just starting the process. Why do I need all this documentation? It's to make it easier down the road. It's to be, when you're under that time crunch, we already have everything. You don't have to worry about it later. So that's just kind of the way I do loans, the way I do business, and what I found really works for me and for most of my borrowers. And that's kind of what the process looks like. If you found this helpful, hopefully it was able to reduce a little bit of your questions about the home buying process. Click the like and follow button. I'm Mortgage Star on all social media, Star with an extra R like Ringo. I'm Rena Star. I'm a licensed loan originator, and I'd love to help get you into your dream home.